Hey everyone, Tyler here. This video will be very different from what I usually post on my channel, as it's very profound to me. I fully understand that this is odd and not my usual content, but that doesn't matter. All along the west coast of the United States, massive widespread wildfires are causing loss and mass destruction. Even though my channel and reach isn't that big, I want to get this out there more. For those who don't know what started the fires, they started from a gender reveal party. How, you're asking? Well, that was from the use of a smoke-generating pyrotechnic device stated by Cali Fire. Usually, under normal weather conditions, this would not have been the case. However, in California's case, wildfires are extremely easy to start because of the drought and the dry weather conditions. In some rare cases, however, they can even occur via flicking a cigarette butt on the ground. So you're all able to see the fires and destruction, in case you haven't been following the stories. I will put videos and pictures on screen while I'm talking, highlighting just how dire the situation is. Trust me when I say this, it's horrible. It's like something you would see in a movie about the world ending. I have family that lives in Oregon, and the fires have become just as bad there as in California. They live in the Eugene-Springfield area, in which the fires became 20 times worse overnight, causing mandatory evacuation the next day. I will put an area map up just showing how horrible the fires there are. Be mindful that this isn't only affecting California and Oregon, but the majority of the West Coast as well. The fires have found their way into other states such as Washington State, Idaho, Colorado, Nevada, etc. In a recent ABC News segment and on other major news outlets, it has now been discovered that a 12-year-old boy and his grandmother have passed away, with his mother in critical condition, who is currently under hospitalization. This news is unfortunate to hear. My heart and condolences go out to their family and all other families that have lost lives and everything due to the fires.
We continue to follow the emergency unfolding across several states tonight. The stories emerging are just awful. The father racing through flames to get to members of his own family. His 12-year-old son and the boy's grandmother were later discovered. They did not survive. And tonight, the harrowing new images coming in. Look at this. This is a home near Oregon City, Oregon. And keep in mind, this image was captured in the middle of the day. Thousands have been forced from their homes there, entire neighborhoods destroyed tonight. In California, they are setting records, more than 3 million acres now burned. And from Washington State, the story of a toddler who did not survive. And the governor of Oregon late today with a warning saying, quote, "This will not be a one-time event. Unfortunately, we are feeling the acute impacts of climate change." Here's our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, on the fire lines again tonight.
Tonight, survivors of that explosion of wildfires in the West offering a glimpse inside.
Half of Talent is going to be gone, at least half the city.
Just 24 hours after the governor warned of the state's greatest loss of life, the death toll is growing tonight. Southeast of Salem, Oregon, Chris Tofty frantically trying to reach his family during the evacuation.
I drove through some pretty big flames, I was in the flames, engulfed in my car. I can't believe the tires didn't pop or something, you know?
After that interview, the family says searchers found the bodies of his 12-year-old son, Wyatt, and Wyatt's grandmother, Peggy. The fires in the Medford area destroyed about 600 homes. This lone house, a reminder of a neighborhood obliterated.
From up here, you don't only get a sense of the scale of the destruction, but also an entire landscape bleached of color. This is a sea of gray and ash and twisted metal.
In another neighborhood, Tim Engelhardt took us with him to see if his home was still there. With landmarks gone, the neighborhood unrecognizable.
A friend of ours had a house here, a couple friends, and it's so destroyed I can't even find where it was.
He was with his daughters and grandson, picking through the wreckage.
I'm so surprised that the people was able to get out of here alive.
These wildfires have burned a record 3 million acres this year alone. That's more than 26 times what had burned by this point last year. Fire crews are stretched thin. Some have been working nonstop for nearly a month.
With 3 months still to go until the end of wildfire season, this year has already produced historic destruction. In Washington, fire claiming the life of a 1-year-old boy and badly burning his parents. 600,000 acres burned the past 3 days alone. The town of Malden nearly burned to the ground, the governor pointing to climate change.
We talk about this as a wildfire. I think we have to start thinking they're more climate fires. They're climate fires because that's what creates the conditions that makes them so explosive.
Just a devastating scene again tonight. Matt Gutman in Phoenix, Oregon, and we can see the pictures there behind you. I know, Matt, that just in the last couple of hours, they've announced at least 2 deaths in the community where you are tonight, and I know they're bracing for the possibility that that toll could rise.
And David, that's because officials say that they have not been able to assess the damage or the death toll because they are simply stretched too thin. And looking out over this, you can tell why the task for investigators of digging through this debris would be so daunting. And with that live drone shot, I want to show you the sweep of the devastation here. This goes on street after street, block after block, entire developments incinerated as far as the eye can see.
As mentioned in the news segment, this will not be a one-time event. Whether you choose to believe in climate change or not, even though it's definitely real, hence why hurricanes are becoming more powerful than ever, it is one of the root causes of such a scenario. My family is safe, which I am thrilled to hear. However, things are currently up in the air as to if they will have to move to another location from where they are now, because of the fires. As I was editing the video, a new article from CNN was released. I would like to read an excerpt of this for you now, as it's definitely very relevant to the topic. As wildfires rage, the air quality across the U.S. West has dipped to unhealthy levels that could make people more vulnerable to COVID-19, doctors say. The widespread devastation has a lot to do with climate change, say state leaders and experts, and things are likely not going to get any better. In California, 5 of the top 10 largest wildfires in the state's history are burning. Quote, California is in the midst of an existential climate crisis. It was just 2 years ago that this area saw the deadliest wildfire in our history. Now, just a few miles away, another deadly wildfire has ripped through the same communities, says California Governor Gavin Newsom. Hearing this is crazy to me. As stated in the article, it was only 2 years ago that California saw the deadliest wildfire in its history. And now, this one. It's super hard to digest. If this doesn't further prove that climate change is real, I don't know what will. It is even being said that, quote, at least 8 of Oregon's wildfires are expected to burn until, quote, the winter's rains fall, end quote, the Oregon Department of Forestry fire chief said. My sources for this information and any videos or pictures used can be found in the video's description below. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to help, also in the description there will be donation links. The money will go directly towards my brother, who will be donating all money received to firefighter foundations and local charities to help those that have lost their family members and everything they owned in the fire. Please note, though, that donations are not at all required, but would be very much appreciated during these times, as any way you can contribute would be more than sufficient. Thanks again for watching.